Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Vital Descent. I'm your host, as always, Patrick McFarlane. This episode is 272, and the show notes may be found at vitaldescent.com/272. And in this episode, we're going to be talking about a very salacious headline. Haitian cannibal gangs are assaulting and besieging the presidential palace in Port-au-Prince in Haiti. You guys might have heard about it. This was all over the news cycle last week. We're going to get into the editorial that I wrote at the Libertarian Institute that went up last week called Culture Warriors Spread Disinfo on Haitian Cannibals. That is the headline. The article did very well on social media and was even retweeted by Dan Cohen, someone who had been to Haiti and actually filmed a documentary featuring Jimmy Barbecue Cherize. Don't know exactly how to pronounce his name because I took German, the superior language, over French in college and in high school. But at any rate, I got a whole bunch of really, really exciting announcements for you guys that I want to get through first. And you're going to want to stay tuned for this because this is huge. So the first announcement is that I am going to be the keynote speaker at the Libertarian Party of Wisconsin convention coming up here April 12th through the 14th. It's at the Doubletree Hilton in Madison, the Doubletree Hilton East in Madison. So I guess there's more of them according to the cardinal directions, but this is the Doubletree Hilton Madison East on April 12th to 24th. You can get your tickets at lpwi.org. And I am going to be the keynote speaker, so I'm going to give a speech about 45 minutes to an hour long. I'm going to be talking about foreign policy, but how, we're doing all this stuff abroad. We are propping up all these nations, starting these proxy wars, and bringing the world to the brink. Meanwhile, our infrastructure is crumbling here at home. And I'm going to be talking about something I did touch on in this podcast, which is the fact that the Wisconsin criminal justice system, including the prosecutorial offices and the public defender, is going through some real struggles right now that some have described as being a constitutional crisis. And it's not unique to Wisconsin that this is happening, so it's not any kind of shade professionally on other practitioners in Wisconsin, but it's just a commentary on a whole on how the system is struggling. It's struggling here on the home front, and meanwhile, we're sending billions of dollars abroad that could be used potentially to revitalize and ensure due process and constitutional rights for our citizens. Imagine that. So, of course, there's a whole bunch of qualifiers there. But if you want to come hang out, come see me, get a beer, come to the Libertarian Party of Wisconsin convention on April 12th through the 14th. Okay, as a part of that, I want to be ready to give this speech, right? I think it's going to be recorded. So I'm really amping up my game. And one thing that I am announcing on the podcast today is that I am releasing an ebook. And the ebook is entitled Slay Propaganda Like a Lawyer. And here's the cover for those of you watching the video version of this. This is going to be ready and live on my email list because I'm going to be giving this ebook away, but it is going to cost you your email address. So I'm working on this. I want to have it released definitely by the time that I do my speech so I can plug it in the speech at the convention. But in this one, I'm going to be teaching everyone how to see through propaganda and how I have, with my special skills and as an attorney, I deal with lies all the time. It's kind of like the currency of the game, right? And that's a lawyer joke. But actually, when you cross-examine people on trial, you're dealing with lies, you're dealing with conspiracies and competing stories for what the truth is, and you're dealing with narratives. And I've developed skills tackling these narratives, both as an attorney, doing it in the courtroom, but also doing it as the Justin Raimondo Fellow at the Libertarian Institute, where we're going to be talking about it in just a couple minutes here. I take apart these establishment narratives and really get down to it. So I'm going to be teaching you all how I do that. The tools that I use both as an attorney and as a writer, some tricks of the trade that you can only get through this ebook. If you want to sign up, because I will be releasing it, but I'll be releasing it to my email list, and I'll be offering it for new signups too. So there will be, when it drops, it will be going to the email list. You can get that and sign up for it at vitaldescent.club, which is, I redid the URL. It was libertyweekly.club. Now it's vitaldescent.club. So there's vitaldescent.com and vitaldescent.club. Vitaldescent.com is for the show notes page. And I have a nice little pop-up here that's going to pop up and try to get your email address now if you go to vitaldescent.com at the show notes page. But if you sign up for the email list here, you can do it at either website, .com or .club. I will be dropping the ebook, a free copy, to all of my free email list subscribers when it does release. And again, I'm going to release it before April 12th, before I give my speech and have that opportunity to plug it. So I'm really excited about it. I think it's going to provide a whole lot of value to you guys in, dealing with narratives on the internet, but what you hear in the news. But also, it's also going to talk about how you can spread the truth in ways that I've been successful in doing it with my business and with the podcast as well, and at the Institute. So as a part of that as well, I'm going to be coming out with the book, the ebook, but there's going to be examples that I pull directly from articles that I've released and published over the last 2 or 3 years. And there's going to be another ebook that is released in tandem with it that I'm working on right now. I don't know what it's going to be called. I tentatively titled it What They're Not Telling You. But it is a collection, and right now it's at 187 pages of all of my articles in nice ebook format for you guys with the links that are active. But in my ebook, Slay Propaganda Like a Lawyer, I'm going to be referencing certain articles that I wrote in the past and explain exactly, what the narrative is at play, how I approached it, how I sourced, how I, dealt with eyewitness testimony, or how I dealt with finding sources of these information and who's connected to what think tank and doing things like that, and give you some tricks of the trade. So go to vitaldescent.com or .club, either one, and sign up for that email list, and you will be getting a free copy of the ebook when it drops, which again is going to be in less than a month here, just a few weeks. Also, lpwi.org to get tickets to come see me speak the keynote speech at the Libertarian Party of Wisconsin convention. So again, subscribers to my email list got a free advance. These are free subscribers, got a free pre-publication copy of my Haitian Cannibal article that went out last week. And excuse me, in it you do get a free update here. Actually, that's not the here's the advanced early access. You can see that in the corner. Culture warriors spread Haiti cannibalism disinfo. And this was a story that you probably heard about it, and it circled around on X, on Twitter last week. It'll always be Twitter to me. Essentially, the claim is Haiti is in a state of anarchy because Jimmy Barbecue Cherise, he has a scary name called Barbecue, is a cannibal. So the story went that he's a cannibal. He leads a cannibal gang, and that they're going through Port-au-Prince, eating people and burning them alive, and doing all sorts of things. All sorts of terrible things. Of course, there's no source for this. There's no evidence that this is actually taking place at all. But nonetheless, the story made the rounds on Twitter last week. And if you were on my email list, you got an early copy of this, which there were changes and edits made. However, so this premium members got the early access. Free members got kind of like a free little preview here. But if you subscribe, you could do the free one, or you could be a premium member and get early access just for $5 a month or $55 a year. There's a 9% discount. So you could get early access like that too. Now, when the article actually went up at the Libertarian Institute here, I'll do like I did with the last article. I'll do kind of a read and comment here. So in the first few years of the 2020s, the world witnessed a revolution in the dissemination of atrocity propaganda. Thanks to the proliferation of social media, smartphone ownership, and artificial intelligence, atrocity claims can now be manufactured, disseminated, and thankfully debunked in real time. And that's what I'm trying to do. And that's what I'm going to teach you guys how to do with this ebook. Although technology may be evolving, lies do not change much at all. During World War The British claimed Germans boiled the corpses of their war dead to make fat and glycerin for munitions. Now, this is a real story. Like, I've talked about it on the podcast before, but the British propaganda ministry put through this story that the Kaiser had these corpse factories, they were called, where the Germans took their war dead and boiled them down into fats and glycerin for munitions, that they were that desperate during the war that they would do that. Pretty ghoulish. More recently, we've seen accusations of industrial organ harvesting in Xinjiang, China, and claims that Hamas beheaded babies in Israel. So we've talked about both of these things. Obviously, I came out with that documentary, Independent Media Parrots Questionable Uyghur Genocide Claims. That was a documentary that I put out in 2021. And Hamas just had this, or Israel just put out this 40 beheaded baby story that just turned out to be a lie, that there was no support for that either. And I say in the article, a key element of these atrocity stories, and many like them, is their over-the-top cartoonization of violence. Now, this is a chapter in my ebook, right? The chapter is like, nourish your bullshit meter, right? Your bullshit alarm. If a story sounds like it's probably bullshit, if it sounds like it's too outlandish to be true, it probably is. If there's a story that, for instance, in World War I, that the nurses were being defiled, that nurses were writing home that they had their breasts cut off in Germany. There was also stories about Belgian babies that had their hands chopped off, and this made the rounds as well. Even though no one stopped to question, like, well, are there just all of these children walking around Belgium without any hands? And if they did have their hands chopped off, how did they survive long enough to get medical care to, survive? So again, no one ever found any children walking around Belgium without hands. No one heard of any stories that weren't like, these hearsay recountings of children getting their hands chopped off. No evidence at all. No amputated children's hands just lying around, just nothing. So immense violent. Right, I saw this story and immediately my bullshit detector went off. So I was like, okay, well, let's see what's really happening. And so I pulled this thread. Amidst violent political upheaval in Haiti, a narrative has emerged that Haitian society is devolving into widespread cannibalism. A video even emerged purporting to show popular opposition figure Jimmy Barbecue Cherise cutting the flesh off of a burning corpse and eating it. So, pretty salacious story here, right? We have cannibal gangs, running around Haiti eating people. And maybe people want to believe this because it's salacious, but also because, like, Haiti has a history of cannibalism. Like, the voodoo zombie Haitian, like, thing is a thing, and it's been in films and popular culture. So maybe people, like, there is a small kernel of truth in it that there is cannibalism in Haiti. Like, that's something that's acknowledged, that people know, that there's this voodoo religious practice. I don't know exactly what it's called, but that does exist. So again, a video even emerged purporting to show popular opposition figure Jimmy Cherise cutting the flesh off a burning corpse and eating it. Well, that is a real video. It is a Haitian gangster. I mean, ostensibly a Haitian gangster eating flesh, trying to intimidate people, but it's not Jimmy Cherise. It doesn't even look like him. And it came out, it's a few years old actually, and it predates all of this violence. So I say in the article, this propagandistic narrative comes at a crucial juncture where Western powers have for 3 years failed to drum up yet another foreign military intervention in this ill-fated nation of Haiti. Now, if you recall, 3 years ago or 2.5 years ago now, sorry, my voice is just a little rough. I wrote this article in July of 21, so almost 3 years ago now, Christ. When the president of Haiti was assassinated. I did a whole couple shows about it, if you guys remember. Go to the show notes page and get hit with that pop-up where you can give me your email address and get my ebook where I can teach you more about this. But essentially I went through it's a pretty in-depth article giving the whole background behind this, really what stemmed and created the situation that we're seeing now in Haiti. But here's a quick recap. So after the assassination of Haitian President Jovenel Moïse in 2021, Haiti was ruled by a U.S. installed president, Ariel Henry. Many Haitians viewed Henry, I've also heard it Ariel Henry, because it's, Creole, Haitian. I think it's Haitian Creole. Viewed Henry as an American puppet leader because Henry was unable to stabilize the country. The United States pushed the UN to deploy a peacekeeping force to Haiti. 2 weeks ago, Henry left Haiti for Kenya, attempting to secure Joe Biden's long desired UN security deployment. So, again, it was the US pushing after Henry was installed, pushing for a international US-backed military intervention in Haiti to stabilize the unrest that occurred because people didn't view Henry as legitimate. And it was Joe Biden pushing for that. And like the US declined, then they wanted Canada to go, but Canada declined. And then they found Kenya, and they were trying to get Kenya to deploy soldiers to Haiti, which again, UN deployments in Haiti have a really bad history, right? Because in the past, there was a joint, I think it was Uruguay, Brazil, and another African nation that sent a detachment to Haiti. And all hell broke loose. Like they started a cholera epidemic. The UN soldiers were famously raped a whole bunch of Haitian women. There's an entire generation of Haitian children that were fathered by forcible rape during that deployment. So let's do another deployment from Kenya this time. So in Henry's absence, Haiti's organized opposition united under the leadership of Jimmy Barbecue Cherizet. And again, the narrative out there is that he's this gangster, that he is a gangster. But actually, the truth is a little more complicated than that. He is a former police officer, and one thing that he would do is his group of I don't know exactly what they're like, a resistance group. And what they did was they created a security force that would protect the Haitian people much better than the Haitian government did. And he protected them against this organized crime, these other organized crime groups, essentially. So, I mean, all these things about, monopoly on force that we've talked about in this podcast before in the early days focused a lot on libertarian theory, but you can really see the mechanics at work here, and it's very interesting. But at any rate, the West has labeled him this gangster, this like terrible authoritarian gangster that he, burns people alive, and that's why his name is Barbecue. And now that he eats people, right? Except the mainstream media didn't report that he ate people. But you can see this narrative come out that he's this bad guy, he's violent, that he is a wannabe dictator, and we need the West to come in and support a legitimate government. So, this united opposition under Cherizet launched an armed revolution that dragged Haiti further into discord, albeit with the goal of creating a truly independent and prosperous country. Now, unable to safely return to Port-au-Prince, Ariel Henry resigned on Tuesday of last week, so a week ago today. Today's Tuesday as I'm recording it. You're probably listening to it Wednesday. Last Saturday, reports began to circulate that Haiti was under siege by cannibal gangs. However, the claims were not reported by mainstream outlets at all. Instead, they were made on Twitter by popular culture war influencers. Now, you probably saw it if you remember. So these influencers use these reports to sow fear that the unrest will spread to the United States through immigration. So they really globbed onto this, these right-wing culture warriors who are spreading and I'm not saying that this is not a serious issue, but they're spreading fear and hatred and discontent among the American public, like reactionary fear porn, by all these stories now about these American citizens that are killed by illegal immigrants. And that's one of the main things. Now they globbed onto this and said, oh, there's Haitian cannibals, and the implication is that now we have to do something about it, like send a US-backed military force to Haiti to quell unrest so that the Haitian cannibal criminal gangs don't immigrate to the United States. Even though, even according to their story, the Haitian cannibals are besieging the capital because they want to take over the government, right? I don't know if that, is it automatically taken for granted now that it'd be the cannibal gangs that are trying to illegally immigrate to the United States when they just took over Haiti? Or, I mean, what is the implication that, like, think about this for a second. Are they saying that the people fleeing the cannibal gangs are going to come to the United States and that they're also cannibals and they're going to come here and eat us? Is that what they're saying? Like, think about this. So, with 10.4 million views as of this writing, Malaysian national, so he's a Malaysian national, he's not even an American, Ian Miles Chong, I don't know, you probably heard of him or seen him on Twitter, circulated the first and most viewed Haiti cannibalism report. The report was furthered, among others, by Dom Luker, Jake Shields, Tim Pool, and Libs of TikTok. So these are all people who, like, globbed onto the initial report and then just broadcast it. So let's look at the first one. This is Ian Miles Cheong. He writes, Haiti has collapsed. The president is no longer in the country. The ports are officially closed. Cannibal gangs are besieging the National Palace in Port-au-Prince. That's his report. Cannibal gangs. Now, this was the earliest one that I could find that really got circulated. Now it has 10.5 million views, but you can see on screen he's included pictures of unrest in Haiti where you don't even really know when exactly it's from. It could be from any time because Haiti is a turbulent country, right? You can also see that Elon Musk replied to it, assuming that the information was true. He says, end of days, this is bleaker than Mad Max. And Ian Miles Cheong says, and now they want to import this into America. Someone else says, how long until Biden brings them all here? Ian Miles Cheong says, weeks, if not days. So, like, people actually listen to this. I mean, this is obviously, it's clickbait, kind of fear porn kind of stuff. Like, obviously, Biden is not planning to bring, maybe it's tongue in cheek that he's saying this, but Ian Miles Cheong says weeks, if not days. Like, there's a program in place for Biden to bring these people to the United States. It's explicitly the cannibals, right? So we have, I like to pick on Tim Pool. He says, look at Haiti, murder, chaos, cannibalism. This is Tim Pool's tweet. They said Trump called Haiti and El Salvador shithole countries in a 2018 NBC report. El Salvador is now safe and growing. They said the leader of El Salvador was bad for arresting gangs. They said Trump was wrong. Look at the world they offered you. So again, it's fearmonger, fear porn about this, like, implicitly carrying this probably, I mean, it serves the U.S. State Department's agenda. I'm not saying that the cannibalism narrative was created by the U.S. State Department. Like, who really knows? It's possible, but I don't have any evidence to directly suggest that. But it serves the State Department's long-held desire to deploy some kind of national, quote-unquote, peacekeeping, international peacekeeping force, in quotes, to Haiti. So murder, chaos, cannibalism. Tim Pool takes that for granted. Murder, chaos, cannibalism, he says. Now, Libs of TikTok, we just blasted her in the last one. She says, Haitian cannibal gangs coming soon to a city near you. This is Joe Biden's America. So you can see that you're being played. Like, your bullshit meter should be, like, emitting sparks right now because it's getting such a big workout. So given his Jake Shields too, let's just throw him in there, his tweet. What did he say? The fact that people in Haiti are eating each other should make a strong argument as to why we need stronger borders, right? So that's what he says. Haitians are eating each other. So, and I say, you know, I had to include that Elon Musk amplified this narrative. Given his position as the wealthiest man in the world and the owner of X, Elon Musk has, in effect, intended or not, Elon Musk has an effect, intended or not, of legitimizing the information he interacts with on the platform, right? People see, oh, Elon Musk tweeted about this. He responded, assuming it was true. Well, he's an important person. He's the owner of the platform. The info must be true, right? I mean, maybe people don't think that actively. Maybe it's an unconscious kind of thing, but I guarantee you it happens. So as is the case with Cheong's cannibalism report, the information Musk interacts with might not be reliable. Nevertheless, Musk drove a number of his 176.3 million followers to Cheong's post by replying to it. So just what was the problem with Cheong's report? He doesn't And what was the problem with it? Well, he doesn't have a source. That's the problem with it. There is no source for the claim. He doesn't cite a source, and I give him the benefit of the doubt of assuming that this one source for it is the source that he's referring to. But he doesn't list one, so we have to like guess at what his source is. Which, I mean, it should be discounted just because he doesn't cite a source at all. But if we give him the benefit of the doubt and assume that he found the one source where this claim is being made, let's take a look at that source. So on Tuesday, and this is part of the methods that I'm going to be teaching you in my ebook of how to do things like this and trace this information and how to tackle these stories. On Tuesday, Chiang posted a screenshot of an email he ostensibly received. And I'm saying ostensibly because I don't know if the guy actually sent this or not. I assume he did because it's a screenshot that Chiang posted. But it was an email Chiang received from NBC reporter David Ingram asking where Chiang got his information. And Chiang quote tweets and says, "I just received a request for comment from NBC News asking me to prove cannibalism exists in Haiti." He says, "I wish I was making this up." And here's the email from NBC News David Ingram. "Hi, Ian. I'm seeking comment for NBC News for an article we're writing about the allegations of cannibalism in Haiti. I see that you are tweeting on this subject frequently in recent days, seemingly treating the allegations as fact. Can you tell me the basis for your tweets? Is it only that one article in the British Star Express with the single unnamed source? Do you have any further comment on why you're choosing to discuss this and what evidence you've seen? Many thanks, David Ingram." Now, I don't like David Ingram. I don't like NBC, right? But we're in this weird Twilight situation where dunking on right-wing culture warriors makes NBC tell the truth. This happened with Falun Gong when I think it was the New York Times did an expose on them. And the New York Times hated Falun Gongs because they supported Trump and they were spreading like populist right Trumpian stuff at the time. So then New York Times does their job and uncovers the fact that Epoch Times is Falun Gong and did a whole like expose about it. So it's like when, I don't know, when everything comes full circle. So in the email, so I just summarized that. I'm not going to read that part of my article, but despite Chiang's mockery, David Ingram's question was legitimate. It was a legitimate question. Ian Miles Chiang made a specific claim in his post. We read the post just now. He did not claim, quote, cannibalism exists in Haiti. He claimed, quote, cannibal gangs are besieging the National Palace in Port-au-Prince. These are two different things, right? Read it carefully. This should be apparent to anyone who listens to this show, but Chiang made two different claims. When he quote tweeted Ingram's inquiry, he said, "David Ingram is asking me to prove that cannibalism exists in Haiti." He says, "I wish I was making this up." No, that's not the claim that you made, Chiang. You said cannibal gangs are besieging the National Palace in Port-au-Prince. That's very different than cannibalism exists in Haiti. Everyone knows cannibalism exists in Haiti, or at least, that's what it's common knowledge, or at least that it has existed at some point in the past. That's a thing. So while Ingram did not link to the article in his email, he was likely referring to this March 5th piece. So I found the piece that Ingram is talking about, even though he didn't link about it. So here's the piece, the Daily Express US. Now, the Express UK is I think it's a tabloid in England. I'm not exactly sure. But here's the article. Haiti violence sees police, quote, attacked with machetes as gangs wreak havoc in Port-au-Prince. So it's an exclusive. A journalist in Haiti's capital tells Daily Express US that gangs have been seen cutting police officers with machete as they cry for help. So if you go down, you actually find the cannibalism claim here in the article. Describing the violence in the country, a journalist on the ground told Daily Express US that cannibalism has been witnessed in the streets as the violence reaches unprecedented levels. That's what the article says. Here's more. Now, the article says that, but this is what the journalist actually said. Journalists on the ground told Daily Express US that cannibalism has been witnessed on the streets as the violence reaches unprecedented levels. Speaking anonymously, they said, quote, Haiti, this is what the journalist said, Haiti is living in a total chaotic situation right now. It is total chaos everywhere, especially in the capital where I am right now. Following the interview, the journalist said via message, cannibalism is not widespread, but definitely an indication of the worsening situation. It definitely happens on a few occasions. Okay, so an anonymous reporter tells a tabloid, Daily Express, there is cannibalism in Haiti because I've heard people tell me that. So what is that? That's hearsay from an anonymous source, right? And again, I'm going to be talking about stuff like this in teaching you guys about this in my ebook. That is hearsay. Someone, right? An unnamed person from an unnamed journalist says, oh, someone told me that they saw cannibalism happening. So he's telling Daily Express US, yeah, people told me that they saw cannibalism. And then he says later, he qualifies it and says, okay, well, cannibalism is not widespread, but it definitely happens on a few occasions. Now, he doesn't say he saw cannibalism, which, if he testified about it, would be admissible in court. If he gets on the witness stand and says, yeah, I was in Port-au-Prince on Wednesday, May or March, what month is it? I was in Port-au-Prince downtown on the corner of, Westerby and whatever, and I saw a guy get hacked with a machete, and then they were carving things off of him and eating his flesh. That would be admissible to prove that cannibalism is taking place. But hearsay, at its core, hearsay is an out-of-court statement offered to prove the truth of the matter asserted. So essentially, if he gets on the witness stand and he says, yeah, Jack told me that he was downtown in Port-au-Prince and he saw someone get hacked with a machete and eaten, that would be hearsay because he's on the stand trying to prove that cannibalism existed in Haiti at that moment, saying that Jack told me that it existed. If instead he was on the witness stand saying, yeah, I saw someone get eaten, that wouldn't be hearsay if he was under oath testifying about it and subject to cross-examination, especially if he was testifying to prove that cannibalism existed in Haiti. So, at any rate, I say in the article, if Chiang did indeed source his report from the Daily Express US piece, the original claim is dubious. The source is hearsay. The anonymous reporter was told by alleged witnesses that they observed cannibalism. The reporter then told the Daily Express US that cannibalism, quote, definitely happens on a few occasions. He did not say that he had personally witnessed cannibalism. Neither did he allege a specific incident where cannibalism took place. He didn't even allege a specific incident where cannibalism took place. He just says, yeah, people told me it's happening. Okay. How credible is that? How plausible is that? Furthermore, I think it's a credibility issue and not a plausibility issue because it's plausible that it took place. Furthermore, Chiang mischaracterized the original report. Chiang's initial tweet claimed, quote, cannibal gangs are besieging the National Palace. Chiang transformed the report from cannibalism definitely happens on a few occasions to cannibal gangs are besieging the National Palace. So his report it's like telephone. His report didn't even reflect what was actually said by this anonymous journalist. Another popular culture war influencer, Dom Lucor, I hope that's how you say his name, subsequently circulated a video of a Haitian gangster eating burnt flesh from a charred human corpse. Lucor claimed the man in the video was opposition leader Jimmy Barbecue Cherizet. Despite being corrected by Dan Cohen, a journalist who personally filmed a documentary featuring Cherizet, Lucor doubled down on the claim. So he was confronted by a guy who actually knows Cherizet and filmed a video about him. And he still doubled down on it. Dan Cohen replied to the original video saying, this is absolutely not Barbecue, aka Jimmy Cherizet, and has nothing to do with him. It's a video from years ago of a gang member in the Artibonite, I'm mispronouncing the hell out of that, Artibonite Valley, eating a burned victim's body in order to terrorize the population. And is a very rare occurrence despite media claims. There is a major propaganda push to demonize barbecue in order to pave the way for a foreign invasion. Dom Lucor, you should delete this and check sources before promoting dangerous misinformation. Watch my documentary that I made with Kim Ives and learn the truth about barbecue and the uprising in Haiti. So there's a link to it. I linked to it in my article too to cite Dan Cohen. So anyways, and again, barbecue, the nickname barbecue apparently is, now I don't, this is what I've heard, right? We just talked about this, but I've heard that the nickname barbecue comes from the fact that his mom was a food vendor when he was a kid. Barbecue Cherise, that he is a former police officer, grew up with a mom who had a barbecue restaurant or some kind of vendor, a barbecue stand, and that's where the nickname comes from. It's a childhood nickname. So although the video probably does depict a Haitian gangster eating human flesh, just interesting article topic, it is clearly not Jimmy Cherise. It doesn't even look like him. Now, I'm not going to show the video. I think there's a screenshot on Twitter of it. But the video probably does depict a Haitian gangster eating human flesh. It's clearly not Jimmy Cherise. It doesn't look anything like him. Further, the video is several years old and not connected in any way to what is occurring on the ground in Haiti right now. There's absolutely no evidence to suggest that Haitians are eating each other en masse, which is how it was reported, or that criminal gangs are using cannibalism as a weapon of terror, which is also what was reported. So again, does cannibalism exist in Haiti? Apparently, yes, in isolated incidents. But again, cannibalism has existed there for hundreds of years. Now, here's an article, like a journal article from 1959 that I cite to, called The Persistence of Folk Belief, Some Notes on Cannibalism and Zombies in Haiti. Really interesting piece. So again, Americans are understandably concerned about illegal immigration. However, they fail to appreciate that this false story supports the case for U.S.-led intervention in Haiti, which ironically is something that the Biden administration has desired for years. So it's just funny that all these right-wing these right-wing culture warriors all hate Biden. They're demonizing him. But at the same time, they're carrying his water. They're carrying his narrative to support an intervention that his administration wants. It's just like, it blows your mind, right? It should blow their mind, but they're too stupid to know anything about what they're talking about. Like, I'm not an expert, but again, I do my homework and I do my due diligence. And again, I'm going to teach you guys how to do this with my ebook, vitaldescent.club. And I'll show you, how I went through to pull the thread on this article, including like evaluating eyewitness testimony, which is a huge thing that you do as a lawyer and is super important because eyewitness testimony is like the least reliable form of testimony, but it's the most convincing. It's crazy how that works. So again, they hate Joe Biden, but yet they're carrying water, doing the propaganda war for his intervention that he's wanted. His administration has been pushing for years now, 3 years almost. So a foreign invasion of Haiti would further traumatize the Haitian people and certainly would increase the amount of refugees seeking asylum in the U.S. As with our prior interventions in Haiti, American taxpayers would be forced to foot the bill. Now, again, prior interventions, I think I linked to my piece that I already showed. So yeah, check out my article. It did really well. And I got to tell you something else. Something really exciting happened that you would know about already if you were on my email list, because I wrote about this in an email called Haitian Cannibal Extravaganza. Now, again, this was for free members of the email list. So this is an example of the free stuff that you're going to get in addition to that ebook. So I did a recap of how my story performed. I said, what a wild week in the news cycle and for Vital Descent. My article debunking the Haiti cannibal story was well received on Twitter. It was so well received that Dan Cohen, the documentarian that met with and filmed Jimmy Barbecue, reposted it, saying, read this thorough examination of the obviously coordinated Haitian cannibalism disinformation campaign by right-wing influencers to pave the way for an invasion of Haiti. And he linked me. So I really appreciate that. Thanks, Dan. Thanks for your work. He also did Killing Gaza, which is just a gut-wrenching documentary about Gaza from before, I think it's from 2014. Might be a little later than that. I also said on Thursday I was invited to. So this cool thing happened. Thursday I was invited to speak on one of the largest Twitter Spaces. It was part of a series hosted by Mario Nafal. I think that's how you pronounce his name. You might have seen his spaces around, like it's always in my suggested feed. So I was invited on, and I did get on, and I did like a quick 3 to 4 minute presentation of my article, and it seemed like it was pretty well received by the panel. You can listen to the recording. Well, you can see this on my email list if you sign up. You can also view it at vitaldescent.club. What the hell? Where is that article? Okay. So it's like a link in the blog section on vitaldescent.club. And let's see. Yeah, it was pretty chaotic in that space before I got on to talk. So, but it's towards the end. It's in the last 5 minutes. So Marcel Dumas, a PhD who writes for the Mises Institute, also dropped a really good article about Haiti that focuses on the political situation, and I highly recommend it. Dan Cohen also posted about it. His Twitter handle is @anarchyinblack. So I linked to that here. You can read the Mises article on it. I think Tho Bishop, I saw it because Tho Bishop retweeted it. I also saw that David Ingram of NBC wrote almost the same article that I did, except he goes after Elon Musk more in the right-wing culture warrior. So again, when it's exposing the right-wing grifters or whatever, the people that the establishment media definitely hates, that they're persona non grata, they actually do some work. But again, NBC puts their own spin on it about Elon Musk and right-wing influencers use cannibal claims to smear Haitian migrants amid crisis. So you can read that article. I link to it there. And then Rolling Stone also picked it up with the same angle that I did, except again, they're more like, progressives about it. I mean, they're more like, the mainstream media. They just that's how they are. So I say sometimes in my email, my free email, sometimes the establishment mouthpieces get it right when it means trashing right-wingers. The same thing happened when the New York Times blew the top off of the Epoch Times for being a front of the rabidly dissident anti-China religious group Falun Gong. And the reason is that they were pro-Trump. So here's a screenshot from the New York Times article, how the Epoch Times created a giant influence machine. And I had some personal updates too. So if you on my email list, I give some behind the scenes stuff. But on a more fun note, I did a live stream on Friday night of Helldivers 2, which is a really fun Starship Troopers kind of like fascist empire spoof kind of ambiance to it. So fun. So I had a good hangout. If you want to watch that, check it out on YouTube. You'll find it in the live tab. And I talk a lot about behind the scenes stuff and like personal stuff about the show and kind of the Institute and the work that we've been doing. So go check that out. And there's some fun gameplay with it too. So again, at any rate, I do some announcements here in this free email list. And I'm going to be holding a giveaway too. So keep your eyes out for that. It's a signed picture of Ron Paul. And I'm going to be giving that away for members. I don't know if I'm going to give it away to free members or paid members. Again, you can become a premium member for $5 a month, $55 a year. And I don't know if I'm going to do the giveaway for free members or if it'll just be for premium members. But if you become a premium member, you'll have a much better chance of getting the signed Ron Paul picture because there's only like 9 or 10 of you. So that's like 1 out of 10, right? 1 out of 10 chance. And here's the signed picture too. And you can see I purchased this item. So it is coming. And again, I hope you all had a great week or whatever. So that was my free email. You can get free emails like this. I do 1 early access to my article per week, and I do like 1 blog post per week. So I'm still working on that, but these are 2 articles in a row that I put out for the Institute. I got one cooking. I'm going to try and get it published on Thursday about how the CIA has admitted that Donald Trump ordered this clandestine anti-China propaganda campaign in 2019. And of course, that was when I was writing about it, saying that something is awfully fishy about what they're saying about China. So check that out. Again, I should be putting that out tomorrow for early access for premium subscribers. And again, you can go to vitaldescent.club, hit subscribe in the lower right hand corner, or you can go to get the pop up at vitaldescent.com. Again, show notes, vitaldescent.com/272 for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. Definitely check out, sign up for the email list. Again, sorry for saying it so many times, but I'm really excited about this project and about putting this ebook out for you guys before I do that keynote speech. So, anyways, I hope you guys are having a good week. We'll check back with you soon. See you later. Peace.